Hello, Margarita.
Hi. Yes.
Hey, how's it going? This is Omar Rodriguez, a.k.a. DJ Ramo, from the Metal Mixtape FM in Ashland, Oregon. Margarita Monet, Edge of Paradise. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. We played there before, Oregon.
Yes.
Long time ago.
You know what? I actually wrote down notes because, before I had this radio show, my friend Jim Harris, had this show, and I saw that he interviewed you guys March 2017, so it's like a 4-year.
Yeah, I remember that. That's cool. Yeah, time flies, man.
Oh yeah, no, believe me. If you would have told me I would be doing radio 4 years ago, I'd be like, nah, I don't. I just like talking a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited to talk to you. You're an absolute powerhouse of a singer. I was listening to all your music, like The Unknown and just listening to all your music, and then I was reading into the comments, and I was reading how like people were like mentioning your older stuff and how you guys are just trying all sorts of music, like different styles, and I looked back and I came across like Rise of the Fallen, and I was like, oh man, like Margarita can do it all with her voice, if she wants to gravitate you with a catchy chord, she can do that. If she wants to rip your head off, she can hit a strong note too.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, part of that was we were just trying to figure out what our music was going to sound like. It was like an exploration until we found ourselves. Like, the universe really defined our sound.
You know what? Doing that, I think, is like something really great that I love seeing in bands. But also, it comes with like that risk, because like some people get into your music and then they're just like, oh, we want the next 10 albums to be the same, and then you hit them with something else. Is there ever anything challenging about like just trying to push yourself and your sound?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't think we ever really thought that way because for us, the evolution was kind of natural. We just kind of went where the music was taking us because we learned very fast that you can't force the music. Like, you can't force the song. You can't, I don't know, I don't think it really works if you're like, oh, I want to make a song like this. And it just doesn't, it will turn out completely different. So we just kind of followed where the evolution was going. I remember with like, after like Rise to the Fallen, we wrote our EP Alive, and that's when I started to really experiment with more industrial sounds, the music's like more cinematic, and it felt natural, and then like the choruses started getting a little different, so we just kept going, and I think that EP kind of led us to where we are now, like it led us to Universe kind of brought us to this album, The Unknown, and who knows where we're going to go from here.
No, I like it, and you know what? Just talking about The Unknown a little bit is that there is so many awesome ideas that you guys have with like all your music video, and it just looks like it would be like the most fun in the world to be able to graph all those out. Is that a super fun experience making like super badass videos like Digital Disease, False Idols, and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I love making videos just because the songs are very cinematic, and when I write the songs, like I always see stuff in pictures, like I'm a very visual person, so videos are just ways to kind of let people into the world that I was seeing, we want to make videos to every song. It's just, it's not easy to do, but it's super fun, and, we have to do a lot of things ourselves just because we want to release a lot of content. If we had unlimited budget, we would be making, like, full movies to these songs. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely badass. Is there like do you always just get in the zone with your music when you're doing the music videos? Because I know, like, I feel like I'm a musician too, and I play a lot of shows, and I feel like I always get myself in like some like crazy zone before I like do something when I'm in front of the camera. Is there like a certain thing you do before you start making these videos, like as far as getting in the zone?
Well, like the songs, they're like my heart and soul. So when I start like singing or whatever or doing videos, I think I go in some zone. Like I remember we were filming a video in Iceland, and like it was cold there, and we were filming, and I didn't even notice. I was like freezing to death, and then I started getting lightheaded,
Oh, no.
and I know, like, I started, like, shivering. It was freaking crazy. But, yeah, you don't notice, because when you kind of go in in the zone or, whatever you want to call it, you kind of go somewhere else and you just focus on the music and you don't really notice anything around you. Or, I mean, you know what I mean. So.
have you ever shot a video and we're just, like, stuck on one part?
Yeah, like lately it's been because there's always a time crunch. I mean, the unknown was different because we were out in the desert, but then like the sun was setting and we were like, oh no, like we only have like 2 minutes to catch this shot and then the sun is gone and we're done. And like the camera, like something was malfunctioning and we were literally counting down the seconds.
Oh my God.
We managed to capture it, so it worked out.
That's so badass. You know what? I've been seeing all your shows and just like how much you guys are doing right now. I feel like in a lot of musicians' lives, like there's always like that one big moment that like, or one big show that like kind of like makes everything believable and more like, kind of lights your fire. Do you remember your first big show where like you got to open for a band where like you kind of like had that moment where like you looked at your or you talked to yourself, you're just like, all right, I got to blow this performance out of the water. Do you remember like your first big show that kind of give you the jitters?
Yeah, well, there was a few in the beginning, and I mean, right now, one that I really remember is our first show in Europe, because we went to Netherlands, and we did a festival with Delane, and it was like, I think it was the biggest show at the time we ever played because it was a few thousand people. And then, like, people were lining up to, like, meet the band. And we, it was just very cool and surreal. And we were all the way in Europe. It was our first international show. And a lot of the fans that we had over the years, for, like, 6, 7 years, well, maybe, like 5, 6 years, that never saw us live. They finally... we finally met them and we finally were able to play our music live for them. So it was very cool. We didn't want to let them down, of course. And we just wanted to, put on a great show. So I remember that day very well.
That is freaking awesome. Do you, is it going on stage, is it like super natural for you, or do you still get like those like butterflies before every show? Like it almost feels new. Like how do you feel before stepping on stage?
It's kind of different every time, honestly, because we did, the last tour we did was in Europe with Antarctica, and that was our first big European tour. With, I think it was like 30 shows back to back.
Jeez.
So, yeah, and some of the shows were really big.
Oh, you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so I was saying, like, I remember one show was, like, the stage was massive. It was a theater, and it was the first time that, we were playing such a big stage that you couldn't hear anything on stage. It was just your in-ear monitors.
Oh.
And, yeah, we're used to doing that. It's just, it was the first time we kind of experienced that whole thing where it's like you're like right on the stage and there's so many people watching you and it's all in your ears and you can't really hear anything else, and then the lights are in your eyes, so you just kind of go into the music, and it's a really cool experience.
I love it. With all positive and great experiences, we sometimes encounter the experiences that are kind of like, oh shit, like what just happened on stage. What's the biggest malfunction you've ever had on stage?
Oh my God, we had so many. Well, we had a lot of like malfunction of blown up tires and things going on fire. and amps blowing up. So we really paid our dues with all the malfunctions. But the recent one, actually, it kind of turned out okay because we were in Belgium and the in-ear monitor system went out, so we could not hear anything. And like a lot of our songs, I played with keyboards on the recording. So live, a lot of that stuff is on the backing track because I don't play keyboards live. So a lot of the sounds and, it's on the backing track. And the backing track went out. And we just had to kind of go back into our, raw performance, and it just was all about feel, and we were just trying to feed off of each other and look at each other because we could not hear anything. But somehow people, it was one of the shows where we sold the most merch, and people loved it. I don't know how we pulled that off, but it was cool.
That's awesome. Is there any, were you able to rewatch it at any form?
Yeah, we did. I mean, to us, of course, I'm like, oh my God, this song sounds so bare. But then I'm thinking, yeah, because, the whole string section is gone. All the sounds are gone, just guitar, bass, and drums, and me. But, then we were like, wow, we can pull it off. We can play, and we've rehearsed a lot, and it's just kind of like going back to the roots and just, doing the rock band thing. So, yeah.
Hey, I think that's badass, and the fact that, you know your bandmates so well that you're like, all right, we got to do this,
Yeah.
What you've written all these albums, done all these songs. When you release an album, is there ever a favorite song on an album that you just really can't wait for the fans to hear? Was there a song on The Unknown where you were just I can't wait for people to hear this? It's almost like you made this huge buffet, but you made this one dish just the way you like it. Did you have any songs like that?
Yeah, that's always a hard question just because every song is so much of my heart and soul in it.
I love it.
But I think with this one I have to go with the title track, The Unknown, just because of how much that song means to me. And that song is really the heart of the album, and I think it's the most cinematic song we have. And I think it just holds a lot of meaning, and I was really excited to share it with people, and hopefully it brings some light to their day.
No, I thought it was amazing. I almost feel like you'd be a good storyteller, read a book too, because you're really good at sending your message in the song, and it's funny.
Yeah.
That you picked that song because, for me, that was one of my favorite songs just because, it's such a huge build. And I love build.
Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate it. So right now we're going to go into the interview, part of the interviews where I'm going to ask you a bunch of fun questions. You ready, Margarita?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, side note, my grandma's name is Margarita.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep.
Mine too. I was named after my grandma. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's Margarita Rodriguez Figueroa.
That's very cool.
Yeah. All right, Margarita. If you could sing for any band in any era for one set, dead or alive, who is that one band?
I don't know. I think Led Zeppelin. I always wanted to see them live.
I like it. All right. Margarita, if you could choose your death, but it had to be by somebody in a horror movie, who would you choose to do it?
Oh my God. Well, I don't know if it's a horror movie, but maybe Edward Scissorhands.
Okay. I like it. All right. In a zombie apocalypse, if you could have one weapon to kill the zombie horde, what is that one weapon?
A bow and arrow.
A bow and arrow?
Mm-hmm.
I like it. All right. If you had to choose one food besides water for all the civilizations on Earth to live on, what is that one food?
Oh my God. That's a tough one. You survive on. Bread? I like bread. Maybe then you need butter. Bread and butter.
No. No, I like it. I like it. All right. Who is one band you're really into that you think deserves more credit than they're getting right now? Like maybe a band maybe a band from like the 80s that didn't get enough recognition as his peers, or maybe a band that's doing good right now is not getting maybe what you think they should get.
Yeah, I mean, like, I love Within Temptation. I think, they're definitely getting a lot of recognition. I just think that, they should get mainstream. I always, like, watch TikTok and all the songs that are super popular, and it's like the message of their songs are, I don't agree with them a lot of the time. So I think bands like Within Temptation, or just, like, bands that have, like, positive stuff that, younger people should look up to, I think it should be more in the mainstream.
Yeah,
So.
no, I agree. I'm totally with that. A lot of these songs are just kind of like, yeah, they're not very, and it goes on both sides, just directed to like just everybody. It's just like, I feel you on that. I feel you. So, we are at the end of our interview, Margarita. I had such a good time talking to you. You're super fun. I hope everybody in Ashland, Oregon, everybody around the world, please go check The Unknown. It is absolutely fantastic. Actually, check out their discography because their whole discography is badass. And Margarita, can I get one more favor before I let you go?
Of course.
All right. Can you say this is Margarita from Edge of Paradise, and you're listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Of course. You ready?
I'm ready.
Hey, this is Margarita Monet from Edge of Paradise, and you're listening to the Metal Mixtape.
Hey, you freaking rock. I hope you have the good rest of your day, and long live music, and all smiles.
Oh, thank you. I hope we see you at a show soon. It would be awesome to meet you in person.
Hey, I'm always getting like all these newsletters and stuff and everything. I followed your page, so if I see an Oregon show, we'll do a live interview.
Oh, thank you. That would be awesome.
Hey, much love, Margarita. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.